bad. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. So definitely sorry for my delay. I was putting on some clothes and I looked up and I was like, whoa, it's almost 8:15. I woke up with so much gratitude in my heart, just thinking about, man, how amazing this year has been. I'm not gonna say I never saw myself having a baby I had my baby at 35. I'm 36 now. Wait. Yeah, I had him at 35. I'm not gonna say like I never imagined it, because I always said, like, if I am marrying a man that does not have kids, of course I will be open to having more children. But it wasn't like something where I was just like, man, I gotta have more kids. So good morning. My beautiful cousin is on here. Good morning. How you doing? Check in with me sometime. I hope everybody doing well. I'm gonna definitely be in with you. Somebody say, good morning. I just finished one of your replays. You probably should have replays because you didn't think I would be here. Listen, like I was just telling YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, y'all just kind of coming on. Today, my baby's 1 year birthday. And I just woke up this morning with so much gratitude in my heart, and I've been crying and talking to God. Y'all, this is a big deal for me. Like, I had my baby as my promised land baby because, you may look at me now, but I've been through a lot in life, okay? A lot of different things that have brought me to this point. And so when Mecca was born, like the preparation of him being born and just him being here today has really, it literally, like, the things that God has promised me are just now starting to happen probably within the past 2 years. And Mecca is a major part of that. I did not plan him, right? Well, kind of, because I knew the man that I was going to marry at the time. I knew that he didn't have any children. So of course he wanted one. So I've always been open to having more kids, but my son is 8, my oldest is 18 in 2 weeks. So so it was kind of like, but I was open to it, because I knew that this is the man that God sent. And I said that if you send me a man with no kids, I'll be willing to, to be led by the situations. Anyway, I can't say I saw myself here, but I saw myself here. I knew that there was amazing things ahead of me. One of the detrimental things that I've ever been through is 3 things. 1, losing my dad. 2, losing my sister. And 3, major heartbreak. Okay? Major heartbreak. So, I'm just glad that I was still open to love. I'm still glad that I was faithful to God's plans for my life, despite all the trauma that I've had to go through. Losing someone so close to you and, continuing to trust God in the process, that takes strength. That takes strength. You wonder, you question, it's like, dang, is this even worth it? Like, let's be for real. Like, you start to ask yourself, like, what's up? Like, how much more you want me to take? When will I see the fruits of all this stuff that you've been asking me to do over the years? You start to really question the process. But I knew, despite y'all how the part of me inside of me would, have these things going in my mind, I knew that God's promises was yes and amen. All I had to do is say yes to him, regardless if it hurt me, regardless if it's confusing, regardless of, and amen. That means it is so. That means it will come to pass. So I will speak these things over my life all the time. So I met Mecca's father in April 2000. Okay, let me go back a little bit. I got to get y'all this. I'm sorry. So the heartbreak Okay, the heart. If you read, I'm not going to get too much. I'm not even going to give that situation that much credit. Okay, so you have to read my book. My book is, which book is it really detailed in? The Pieces of Success, because the heartbreak was literally a part of my success journey. But fast forward, I really like let go of the situation in February of 2023. We in 25. And life has evolved in ways that I couldn't even imagine while I was going through what I was going through. But in February 2023, it wasn't that I was just saying I was done, right? My heart was postured towards God pulling me to release this situation. So we all know, if you've been through heartbreak, you know that initially, like, you'll say you're done, but you still not really done. I know, and this is one reason that I know that God judges us into our hearts, because in that moment, God knew that I was done. And not only was I done, I was saying, God, I'm going to accept this thing. Because we're done, but our hearts haven't really accepted it. So you still kind of like dealing in and out of the situation. So anyway, I no longer had one foot in and one foot out. And so I was done. And during the process of the breakup, God was constantly telling me, like, you have to let this go. If you don't let this go, you're going to lose everything. And I'm not just talking about materialistic things or the things that you have. I'm talking about everything that Ayana Johnson stands for internally. This person is going to take from you. When God started talking to me like that, I was like, yeah, this Negro ain't worth it. I've worked too hard to get to where I am mentally. So I can't let him take Malachi's mommy away from him. Okay. Malachi is my oldest son. So I made the decision and I left. Okay. Fast forward. So, I won't say, February. Okay. Let's just say, yeah, it was February. I'm not going to lie. February. It's February. Okay. So y'all about to really like be like, so that was like the beginning of February. My friend's birthday is February the 10th. We went out to dinner. She had like a dinner party. And then after dinner, her husband is Nigerian. My husband is Nigerian. Okay. She said, her husband was like, Ayana, let's go to this Nigerian after hour spot after we left dinner. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm going home. Like, you just get in the point where I don't want to deal with, especially not no men right now. Like, I was just like over it. But I was over it. I didn't feel like dealing with it, but I was like, okay, I'll go. So I ended up going, and he was like, I'm telling you, you're going to meet somebody. I was like, okay. So when I went there, I met him. He, it was like before Valentine's Day, he stopped me and he was like, you were in a relationship. Well, he asked me if I was in a relationship. I said no. And he said, if you were, how much money would you, how much money would you expect your boyfriend to give you for Valentine's Day? And I'm like, whatever's on his heart, whatever he feel like is necessary. That's how I responded. Because I'm never gonna make you think that I'm thirsty for money. So you decide. Plus, I need to see how intentional you are. That's what I was thinking to myself. So anyway, so he was like, can I have your Cash App? And I was like, what? So anyway, I gave him my Cash App, and then he sent me a lot of money. And he put his phone number and said, call me. Okay. He sent, and that's how we exchanged numbers through Cash App. Okay. So 2 days later, we went on our first date. He took me to this very nice Thai upscale restaurant, and we ate, we talked, and he was asking very specific questions like, what are my beliefs? What's my family dynamics like? Like, he wanted to know who I was as a person. And so I knew from there, I was like, yeah, he's like really invested in me. So I asked him, I was like, do you ask all women these questions when you go on a date? And he was like, no, I don't actually. And, so anyway, so from there, that was our first date, February the 14th. And so we started dating. We started, he hasn't stopped, right? He continuing to date me, continuing to be invested in everything that I'm doing. He donated to my organization. Like anything I was doing, he wanted to be a part of it. So that was in February. So we started dating. He took me to another, I mean, the restaurants didn't stop. He kept introducing, you ever ate here? I want to show you this. You want to go to Miami with me? You want to take a trip here? Like he just doing everything, right? So I was like, this is what? What? So of course I'm calling my friends like, y'all, this guy is like, he is not playing with me. And I was like, I love him, but nah, I'm playing it safe. And she was like, girl, please, if he's showing up for you, doing, just let loose with it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna wait, I played it safe, y'all, because gone are the days where I'm just giving you my heart and you not deserving of it yet. So my friend was like, how is he not deserving, Ayana? He's showing you everything. Every part of life he is invested in. So I was like, okay, cool. So anyway, he took me to, what is that restaurant called? Oh God. Anyway, it's a high-end restaurant in Buckhead. I forgot the name of it. But anyway, he took me there and he asked me to be his girlfriend. I was like, what? So even when he asked me to be his girlfriend, he was like, so you just want to dating? I was like, what do you mean? Here I am playing a little, playing it safe. And he was like, I mean, I would like to make you my woman. Like, I don't want to like have the idea of you dealing with other people or I'm dealing with other women. Like, I highly respect you and I want to make this official. Will you be my woman? And I was like, did he just ask me that? Like, normally, y'all, in this generation, they don't even ask. You just gotta assume, right? Like, what we doing? You gotta end up asking them, what are we doing? So from there, obviously, I was like, okay. Even there, I told him, I was like, let me think about it. So I went home, I prayed about it. I talked to my friends, the two people that I trust, got their opinion or how they felt about it. I prayed, I talked it out to myself, and within I gave them like 4 days, and then I was like, yeah, I don't see why not or whatever. And he was like, okay, so are you ready to introduce me to Malachi? Yeah, I still haven't introduced him to Malachi. It's been months, okay? February, and I think in March, April, May. It was May at Malachi, 3 months later. Because, yeah, May was around, what's that, Labor Day, I think. So we met Malachi in May. All right. June June came and we really made it official. Okay. And then October he proposed. October was my birthday. He planned a dinner at a steakhouse. He was like, I want to take you to dinner for your birthday. Let's have a party. Like you invite your family, like your mom, maybe like your sister Felicia. And I was like, okay, so you think I should bring Malachi? He was like, absolutely, bring Malachi, y'all. He planned the steakhouse, paid for everybody's food at the steakhouse, all my family, okay? He kissed me and proposed. And I was like, what? So when I say, but by the time he proposed in October, we found out I was pregnant in September. Okay. September is when I found out I was pregnant. He proposed in October. He was like, there's no way that, we can go into this next phase of life and you're not my wife. Like, there's no way we can do that. So, proposed in October. Mecca was born in May. Now, we're talking October 2023. Mecca was born in May 2024, last year. Mecca was born in May. Our baby shower was in April. And in March, he was like, you pregnant? I know you don't want to be pregnant in your wedding gown. So let's just make it official and go get married and have a wedding. Have a wedding next year. So here we are. So Mecca is my promised land, baby. Our wedding is next year. And y'all, we didn't start businesses together. we didn't got invested. Like, when I say he hasn't stopped being intentional, he hasn't gotten it comfortable, he hasn't treated me differently, he hasn't stopped honoring me, he hasn't stopped looking for my needs to see what's important to me, he hasn't stopped asking me questions, trying to understand my brain and how it works. Like, he's still invested in me. A man's man. Okay. I don't talk about him a lot because he's my sacred place. Okay. So I'm telling his story because it all aligns up with Mecca being my promised land, baby. He's my sacred place, and he's for me. He's not for the world. He's for me. He is my blessing. God sent him to me. And I'm very careful about, how I talk about him, who I talk about him to. Yeah, he's an amazing father. He is an amazing stepfather to Malachi. He is an amazing example to Malachi. I always wanted Malachi to have an example of a real man. That's always been my heart's desires. This man has come into our lives and literally nothing is the same. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. And Mecca is the outcome of all of this. I don't have to worry about pretty much anything when it comes to that relationship. So that's the backstory of my love story and how Mecca got here. Let me see. Y'all commenting a lot. I understand this is my first Mother's Day without my mom. God is definitely working in my life. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Amen. God bless you. God bless you. She made a comment when I was talking about grieving my mom. Sorry, not my mom, my dad and my sister. And mind you, my sister passed away in April 2023. Like, literally, probably 2 weeks after I met my husband. Okay, that's another reason why my friend, are you kidding me? When my sister passed away, I called him screaming and crying while I was at the hospital. He was like, what hospital are you at? I'm on my way. He was very intentional about me even during that time and making sure that he comforted me every step of the way. So God took my sister's life, but he gave me life in the process. He gave me new life. And so how can I not dismiss all the promises that he has for my life, for my future? Okay. How can I not appreciate all the things that he has done in my past, even when I didn't understand them? Okay. Sometimes you just have to kind of like do the calculations in your mind and don't get so in your emotions of things. Learn how to regulate your emotions. When you learn how to regulate your emotions, you initiate this power inside of you that ultimately shows up as them. And you learn to navigate through life a little bit more mature. So everything that comes in your life can't knock you off your feet. Okay. You learn. Now you're going to be a human. You're going to have emotions. You're going to have ways inside of you that are dysfunctional because we're human. We're not perfect. But you cannot stay. There's this song by Ty Tribbett. And Only One Night, though. I think those the lyrics. He like, weeping man do in the night, but only one night, though. Only one night, though. You cry when you cry something, But only one night though. Like you have to know I can give myself this moment, but I got to start doing the calculations in my mind to see how it is really moving in my life. During that time when I met him, my sister had passed away 2 weeks after. In the moment I mourned her, I was in disbelief. I couldn't believe it happened. First of all, it happened out of nowhere. But as I sat with myself, like, God, you are still faithful. Like you still doing something in my life to show me that you still here with me when I feel like you really just took my sister. Sometimes God will give you something to hold on to. He got your hand and he's holding your hand in the process of what you have to go through to show you that he's with you, you're not alone. And to show you that although this looks really bad, there's so much grace that comes with this situation. And in those moments, that's when you pull from that part that I was just telling you about. Regulating your emotions, discovering that power, and allowing that power to become wisdom. Wisdom helps you to understand life in ways that other people can't. That's why people will say I may be strong, but it's not that I'm strong, y'all. I'm just as weak as you, I'm sure. So it's not about me being strong, it's about me being wise. Because I view life a little bit differently, because I've learned the process of how important it is to regulate my emotions and to look on the inside of my struggles, not the outside. We look around at our lives and we just be like, golly, oh, baby, the storm is storming. But you got to get to a point in your life where you start to look at the inside and say, although all these are happening around me, man, good grief. So much is happening to me and for me. And I got to hold on to this thing right here that's actually bringing me joy, even if it's just that one little thing. In that moment, the only thing that brought me happiness was that I had this man, after I just went through this crazy heartbreak, I had this man that was guiding me, holding my hand, and comforting me through the process. I knew God sent him. I knew he did. I didn't know at that time if he was going to be the man I'm going to be with for the rest of my life, but I knew that in that moment, God sent him. I was the one planning my sister's funeral for the most part. So all day, I'm at her house doing all this stuff. And my only way to escape from the situation was to go to his house, like in the evening time. And they say, Ayana, you leave, I'm gone. When you think about your life, you have to give credit where it's due. You put a lot of emphasis on a lot of the things that have broken you down, but I need you to start putting more emphasis on the things that have lifted you up as well. The things that have brought you life when things just seem like you were depleted. The things that showed light when the darkness seemed to blind you. The things that kept you going when you didn't see a way how. When you look up at your life and you say, I don't know how this worked out, but it worked out. And I remember during that time, I was done for it. Y'all, I used to have, during heartbreak, I used to have moments where I just be like, Lord, I'm so broken. I don't even know, like, is this even, like, for real? Like, I'm not going to say they were suicidal thoughts, but it was like thoughts like, when you want something so bad, or when you see that something should be for you, right? Relationship wise, and you fall for a situation, then you start to question like, dang, if this person can do this way, why is life even worth it? Like, I've had those thoughts. That's how heartbroken I was. But it built something inside of me. Oh man. The power that came with the brokenness. At this point, I can literally look at you and tell you the brokenness was worth it. Because it birthed something inside of me that I wouldn't have had if I didn't go through that. It gave me new opportunities. It opened up doors and it expanded my mind in ways that I would not have been able to do that or become who I am today without that season. I don't think that I would have been prepared for the man that I am with today, because your trauma equips you for greatness. You start to realize and learn ways that are not conducive to who you desire to be. You start to think about how a situation you felt neglected, and you don't allow nobody else to neglect you. You don't allow no other situation to do you that way. Wisdom teaches you to see those things from far away. So I am glad that I went through what I went through. Greater is he that is in me than in what's in this world. And that's what I constantly say all the time, because no matter what I go through or what I experience, there's something inside of me that has evolved because of the things that I've experienced. And there's something inside of you that is evolving because of your experiences, because of your hurt, because of your pain, because of your trauma, because of your depression, because of your weakness, because of your sadness, because of those moments where you just lie there and, feel defeated by life. God is birthing power inside of you. My baby Mecca was birthed out of wisdom. So I know for sure that his life is taking him places that I can never even think, dream, or imagine. My imagination is up here, but I know God's is way up here. I am so excited for my baby's life, because he get a version of me that my first child didn't have. Oh, baby, he is going to be something amazing. Whew. So to God be the glory for everything that we go through. Everything that we go through, it is for a reason. And you have to stand on that. And you have to pull joy out of the distraught. Somebody said something. I showed my therapist today, let me do it for you video, and my therapist needed therapy. Not sure. Okay. So it's 8:41. Well, I was late, so I can't. But I was late. But I hope this was a blessing. I hope this was a blessing to all the single moms. Y'all, I've been single, raising a boy all my life. I mean, all his life. He's 18 in 2 weeks. God will do it. He will bring the man that you deserve. Okay, I hope this was a blessing to you. I hope this was inspiring and motivating, so that please don't give up on love. I know it's far, few around, dribbled around the world, but what God has for you is for you. It does not matter. I don't care how many they say, oh, ain't no in the world no more. That's a lie. That's a lie. And I say that loud and proud. That's a lie. Men cheat. That's a lie. Okay? You gotta know what you know, what you know, what you know. Don't fall for the things of this world. Don't let the world convince you of what you can't have. What? You are a child of the highest. You are a king's daughter. You can have everything. And you will get the man that God has specifically for you. Let him do a good work in you and equip you. And in due season, y'all, I was ready in February when I left the first one. And that's why it transitioned so fast, because I was giving my light to the wrong person. And that's why God said, if you keep giving him this light, he gonna snatch it from you. Go so I can put you with who you need to be to shine the light with. That's why it happens so fast. When people be like, dang, that was fast. That's God's will. That's why you can't look at a situation and say it's supposed to happen one way. That's not true. There's no one way, right way to most things, because God is God, and his plan and his purpose and his vision for all of our lives are different. My story won't be yours, and it won't be mine. It may be similar. But don't judge me, and I won't judge you, because I can't judge you. I didn't been through too much to judge anybody. I'm happy for you. Anything happen? Congratulations. Learn how to do this more, people. And stop hating and judging. Because you hating and judging, and all you doing is speaking over your own life. As you hate and judge somebody else, whatever you put out comes back to you. That's what the Bible says. So stop hating, stop judging, and clap. Even if you don't agree, clap. And sometimes you don't agree because you never experienced it. A lot of people have never experienced real love. So I hope this was encouraging to the single moms, to the moms who show up for their children, to the moms who are being loved properly, to the moms who loving on themselves and prepare themselves for the man to love them properly. Okay, you gotta love yourself first. If you don't have that part down, how you expect somebody else to love you? He gonna come right in like, I don't know about her. Y'all think men can't see through us? They can. You might look good on the outside, but he can see straight through you. Okay, so I just pray this was a blessing to you. And yeah, y'all enjoy your wins. Love on yourself. Show up for yourself. Stand up for yourself and be the best you this weekend. God bless you. To God be the glory for all that he's doing in all of our lives. Have a beautiful Mother's Day. Make it count. Make it count. Amen.